Welcome to the Forsyth Magazines podcast. I'm Brooke Eagle, your host, bringing you the stories of the people shaping our community. From business owners to local leaders, we'll explore their journeys, passions, and lessons learned. Let's dive in. Hey guys, we are back with another podcast episode, and today I have Mary Martinez Coffey, the founder and CEO of Boutique Wellness. Hey Mary.
Hey.
How are you doing?
So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. So Mary is quite impressive. She has this beautiful building downtown, and we have Boutique Wellness upstairs, and we have Manolo's event space and restaurant and all the things downstairs. So
That's
it's
right.
quite a fun combo, and we're going to talk about both of those today. But I want to just first talk about a little bit of background on Mary and how you got here.
Sure. Oh gosh, where did it start? So pharmacist by trade, graduated a long time ago, right? But I started Boutique Wellness 2018 on the premise of getting away from allopathic medicine or getting to the root of why people get sick. So I was trained, as a clinical pharmacist. I am a clinical pharmacy practitioner. And I did realize that, what I was doing with just dispensing 19 meds one time for one medication. I woke up, I'm like, what am I doing? And you ever just wake up, you're like, okay, this isn't for me. So I went back to school, got my fellowship from the American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine. I also have my certification in clinical nutrition, and then founded Boutique Wellness back in February of 2018. And it just took off from there. So I focused more on integrative and holistic medicine, did more hormone balancing, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, functional medicine, peptides, and pretty early on recognized the power of peptides. And then I met Dr. Joe Cleaver, who is my medical director, and he introduced me to aesthetics. And that really transformed the practice. In the business of integrative medicine or any type of wellness center, you really have to diversify your income. So I found that adding some aesthetics really helped bring people in to know who I am. And then I'm able to talk more about how do we heal the skin from the inside out, right? Because people come in for wrinkles, right?
Yeah.
And then I talk to them about hormones and estradiol and estriol and collagen and water and
Do you
stress.
see men and women, mostly women, half and half?
My men population is definitely increasing because we
Okay.
are doing an IND study right now on men's health.
Okay.
So we have invested in some top of the line regenerative aesthetic devices from Korea. It used to be Israel was the leaders. And now so much so that I actually start speaking for them. So I
Wow.
want to be the expert in this arena. Once I go in, I go all in, right? So it's really exciting, like all these changes. The future of integrative medicine is regenerative aesthetics and regenerative medicine. It's healing the body naturally with your own ability. And that's part of what the aesthetic component does as well as integratively.
I love that. So when you have patients come to you, what's kind of the most common problem that you hear or the reason people come to you most commonly?
Wrinkles
Yeah.
and weight loss.
Yeah. And our hormone, I'm sure hormones, that's such a broad
Yeah.
term, I guess, but
It's interesting you say that. I think people have been fighting fatigue and brain fog since COVID, even before that, and think it's now normal and it's okay to feel this way. Meanwhile, it's not. And then when you give them a glimpse of true health, then they have hope. And really, my favorite patients would be the ones that I take to go home and research this and then come back. Because they're my favorite patients, that I tell them this all the time, are the people that educate themselves, because then I'm not around them, but they will stay compliant.
yeah, because you don't want them like blindly following whatever you say. Like you want them to also be involved in that process.
Correct.
Yeah. That's very cool. So I'm assuming if you do work on weight loss things, I'm sure part of it is also the nutrition factor and educating people on proper foods to eat and things like that. Is that true?
Yes, I always start with lifestyle.
Yeah.
Resistance training, lifestyle, your connection, mind-body connection to food. And then I start with, nutrition, like micronutrients. I do a lot of drug-induced nutrient deficiencies. Oftentimes people have been on medications for many years. It causes certain nutrients from your body usually makes to stop making them. So I do a lot of that. And then I do peptides. And then I go into medications, prescriptions. So there's a little sequence that I follow.
Does a success story, I'm sure you have tons, but does one in particular come to mind that you want to share without sharing names, obviously?
Oh gosh, it's funny because a lot of my patients end up working for me.
Well, that says a lot.
Yeah. So, they come in and they're like, I've been everywhere and my lab levels say everything's normal, but I know something's off. I'm not who I was before. And it oftentimes triggered by a virus or stress, death of a loved one. Stress is number one, right? Yeah. But over time, that stress can start to mimic and create an autoimmune response, right? Because your body's just trying to maintain natural homeostasis or balance. And if you're continuously in that toxic environment, it's not going to be able to differentiate attacking you versus attacking the toxin, right? To remove it. So that's what causes an autoimmune disorder.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's your body now attacking itself. And it's really hard to find that unless you know what you're measuring. So I'm a clinical nutritionist too, so I like to look at basic labs. I don't have to order $1,000 worth of labs, right? I can do a basic CBC, CMP, homocysteine serum, just things that are inexpensive, right? That are usually covered by your insurance.
Yeah.
And then from there, I can say, okay, well, there's something, it's usually gut related or inflammation in the brain. So if I see someone that has anxiety, that's brain fog, usually it's because there's a toxin or something that we need to remove. And that's the first step. And I would say my greatest success stories are those that have no brain fog, have their mind back again, have energy, are happy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well, what else do you have? And then they go into aesthetics.
Well, because like you said, I think people don't, if you're so used to being fatigued, you don't remember what it feels like to not be fatigued.
Correct.
So when you get to that point, you're like, wow, I feel like a new person.
And
I
you never go back.
even know it was that bad, but it is that bad.
And then you help others, right? It just continues from there. Yeah.
So you mentioned stress being a common issue, which is so true. I think everybody has so much stress right now. But what are some tips that you find yourself offering your patients to kind of help with stressful times in life?
Oh, gosh. There's so many things, but I would say the first one is discipline and allowing yourself time for you. Oftentimes people come to me because now they're like, you know what? I've been taking care of a husband or a sick one, a dad, whoever. And I've aged, and they see their faces and they're like, this is not me. So, I would say first step is, allow that time, even like 7 consecutive days of 15 minutes of breathing, right? Start with mindful breathing, 7 full breaths, writing things down, and then do it consistently. You will see a transformation just in that. And then in addition, I'd like to remove them from whatever environment that's causing it. If it's food, low inflammatory foods like gluten, soy, nuts, dairy, sugar, very inflammatory, very addicting. And then know why, they're craving it. Like usually sugar is yeast. There's a yeast or fungal in the gut, right? If it's stress, like it's usually potato chips they're craving because of cortisol, right? So suppressing the cortisol, unless we dampen that cortisol, they're not going to sleep well at night. So my main goal for the patient that walks in is you want them to get to sleep 8 full hours a night. And I remember he doesn't sleep 8 full hours a night. I can read you. And go to the bathroom every day, bowel movement every day, because everybody wants to be on a GLP. And I'm like, okay, well, you can go on a glucose-like phosphate, which is semaglutide, Ozempic, but at the end of the day, what's going to happen? You're going to lose muscle mass. You're going to lose, your skin's going to become saggy. You're going to have the Ozempic face, right? How do we prevent that? And what are some better ways to lose weight? Right. I would say, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you did. I think sleep is such a crucial one. Sleep is that's very important to me and I prioritize it. But yeah, if I don't get my 8 or 9 hours, I'm not a happy camper.
Yeah. And it's the quality of sleep too. I like wearables to see like an Aura Ring or the Whoop, I think is the best wearable. And that really helps to know if not only you're getting 8 hours of sleep, that you're actually getting, deep sleep. Yeah. That recovery sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm sure most people probably are not.
No, the cortisol is too high. Like I said, unless we're dampening that cortisol, it's pointless to get them to sleep. They could say that, oh, I don't need it because they're high, right? They're on that cortisol, flight or fight, sympathetic, but you really have to have a balance of the both autonomic nervous systems.
Yeah. Well, I also want to make sure we have time to talk about the downstairs space.
Sure, of course.
And first I want to know, how did you decide to even do this? It's two so different businesses, and I'm intrigued to know like how that idea came about.
Well, my partner owns a winery in Sonoma. It's called Locanda Wines. And so I've always loved wine from that, right? So I was inspired through that. And before I started the restaurant, it was just I started the wine bar. So I thought you needed to have like a restaurant to have wine. A little bit I know. I'm like, okay, now before you do it, I have a restaurant. But so I wanted to have boutique wines. I wanted to have wines that nobody else has. And that was really to support the business downstairs. They ended up not being able to stay. So I took over, the space and then offered, some food, like Italian foods. And I would just say it was more on the premise of like having it as one space. So I will say like my last patient, like on a Friday after a procedure, will go down and have a glass of wine. Usually there's music playing, and I love music. I love jazz.
Yeah.
I love live music. And I grew up in New York, so there was always good food, good museums, good music. And here now in Winston, we just want to bring that back, culture, good food, and good vibes, right? And it's a beautiful home that I just want to share. It's an old mansion, right?
It's so cute. I love the space. The outdoor patio is so nice. The indoor is so cozy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
we were talking a little bit before we started recording, which I did not realize this, that you are now supporting various local restaurants through this space. So tell me how that kind of works.
Yeah. So last week we supported Spaghetti Park in Clemens. They do amazing catering. They don't have a dine-in space. Everything is takeout. So what I'm doing now is partnering up with local restaurants and offering their food through our venue.
Oh, okay.
And doing it as tapas. Like the past week, which has been a huge success, is Island Cuisine, and they're also in Clemens. And it's all Filipino food. I'm like, why not have Filipino food? I haven't had Filipino food ever. I love Filipino food. So we have like sisig and lumpia and adobo, and everybody loves it.
I love that.
So for me, it's about making people feel like have a feeling that they remember.
Yeah.
So when they walk in, they're like, okay, they sit down, they have an experience there, and then they go downstairs, they eat something, and they're like, they remember it. They remember where they are, how they feel when they eat it.
Yeah.
And so some of the restaurants I partner up with are some of my favorites so far, but I'm open to partnering up with other restaurants as well to support them, because it's a hard industry.
Sure.
One bad review, and that happens often, just takes you, and it hurts my feelings because I want to make everybody happy, but you can't.
Yeah.
So I think through supporting, local businesses is the key.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not.
So do you team up with like catering companies that might want to do supper parties and things like that?
100%, yeah. And then we'll do wine dinners, and I can partner up with, do the chef of the week. Like there's some really nice chefs who I like Brian DePaulis. He's great.
Well, I was
with
about
catering.
to say that's who I was going to say, because my son is his sous chef.
Perfect.
So
Oh, he's great. I love Jennifer and Brian. They're great people.
yeah.
And,
So Trey, if you've met Trey, that's my son.
Okay.
Small little town we live in.
We do, yeah.
So how do people find out what restaurant you're kind of featuring for, and for how long?
Yeah, it's really we're just going based on what the population wants right now. But we follow us on Instagram if you guys follow social media, and Facebook. We also send out newsletters once a week on Sundays.
Okay.
So we
How do you
blend
subscribe to your newsletter?
right now it's on manolosnc.com.
Okay.
Manolos with an S, nc.com, or boutiquewellnessnc.com, and then there's a link on there too to sign up for the newsletter. We always try to update on Instagram all the news.
And what's the Instagram handle?
Manolos Boutique Wines and Bistro.
How do you spell Manolos?
Manolos is MANOLOS.
Okay.
Boutique
Awesome.
Wines and Bistro, and then boutiquewellnessnc.com. So we have a hyperlink to that as well.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
do you have any special events coming up in early 2026?
Early 2020. No, but next week we do. I don't know if this is coming out. So this
This won't come out in time.
Okay, so early 2026, we're planning on doing flamenco. I think it's January 30th, and they have live dancers, one from Cuba.
Oh my
and
gosh.
So we're only selling like 36 tickets for like really good seats, and then we're doing other tickets, and that just includes them, to come in and watch them, and it's always a sellout. Like people love flamenco down here, and love live dancing.
Oh, yeah.
So they come. Usually, I try to host that twice a year.
Okay,
as our
that
biggest
sounds
one.
like a fun date night or girls' night or
Yeah, I
love
will
that.
say restaurant wasn't something that, or even event space, because we're doing a lot more events, wasn't something that I had envisioned myself running or managing. It's one of the hardest businesses, but it has transformed me and helped me to make better decisions as a business owner for Upstairs and Boutique Wellness. And really the goal is to make it as one when you walk in, not feel like it's two different businesses. We want everyone to feel like it's one business.
I love that.
Everyone's welcome. Yeah.
So if you were interested in hosting an event there, what is the kind of ideal number of people, and B, how would you go about booking that with you?
Yeah, so they can log on manolosnc.com, and they can or call our phone from the website.
Okay.
And usually it's about 55 fire safety wise, and then about 55 outside.
Yeah.
So, and if depending on what, we usually host a lot of small eloped weddings, which is my favorite.
Yeah.
Or we'll do a lot of rehearsal dinners. Baby
love
showers
that.
and bridal showers are really big too.
Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of event spaces that are geared towards smaller events like that. So I think that's a good niche to be in.
And it's a music space. I want people to know it, that we'll always have live music.
Yeah.
Like Fridays, I'm trying to work on because Tate's is not there anymore. So
I
I
know.
have their musician and love to do jazz on Tuesdays again.
Yeah.
Right? With just tapas and just good wine and a nice drink.
And I'm assuming you don't need to make reservations. You can
You can just come in. We're not going to be an open table anymore. I'm keeping it very casual dining.
Yeah.
Just come in, have a glass of wine, relax.
I love that.
And just have a little chit chat. I'm usually there every night.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
So any lessons that come to mind that you've learned being a business owner over the last several years?
Oh, wow. Gosh. I would say, don't make too quick decisions. Sit with it for a while, but really it's surrounding myself around positive people. I'm really, I'm a strong Christian, and I will say, prayer is really key. And I wouldn't be able to make the decisions I have unless I like with stress. How do I manage that? It's every day I wake up and I allocate an hour of prayer time.
Wow.
Or just listening to someone that motivates me. That's better than me, right? And I think that's one thing that will help you, because I'm making 1,000 decisions a day. From dishwashers to sinks and to Disport ordering product,
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. And people are like, I'm like, you want to be me one day, don't you? It's just I don't know how you do it. Because really, I am running too. And I'm upstairs and downstairs. I'm wearing so many hats. But I wouldn't be able to do it with my own wisdom. So I would say the biggest takeaway from me is allowing that time to meditate, allowing that time to be and to assimilate all the changes that have happened so that you're always guided accordingly. And that's the biggest lesson for me. The restaurant has transformed me tremendously, so I embrace it as good and bad, all the changes. It's the hardest thing. And now transitioning, and my goal now is to support local restaurants, support local venues, and for me, support musicians, because they're near and dear to my heart.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the passion that you have for it.
Thank you.
So with your prayer and meditation,
Yeah.
I'm so inspired that you spend an hour.
Yeah.
Did you have to, I hope so, build your way up to that? Because I feel like an hour feels like forever.
Well, you get the mind clutter, right?
Yeah.
So it's practice, and it's okay. Just let it pass, and it's not just and I multitask, right? I'm laundry, doing things in the morning because I'm an early bird. I'm an early riser. Sometimes I'm up at 4:50, sometimes 3:50, and that's my day, right? And it's before it's your time to check emails. Make sure you didn't miss someone. Because going in the practice upstairs, there's refills, there's patients too, right? And that's first and foremost priority. So I would say, with this, I'm able to really set those priorities. Okay, what's number one? Of course, patients are number one.
Yeah.
What's number two? My staff, right? A lot of people are dependent now on working for me, right?
Sure.
So, you want to make sure the business is growing and is successful.
Yeah.
So, it takes time to get there. And another routine that I have that I'll never lose, hopefully, is exercise. So I go to the gym every day, even if it's just 20 minutes and it's just, straight doing a couple sets of something, just resistance training, because it's what I preach.
Yeah.
And I have to practice it, and it's part of my mental health.
Oh,
it
gosh,
increases
yeah.
all neurotransmitters, especially dopamine, which is what I need. So it's definitely, and I know you know that owning CrossFit, you know the power of lifting weights.
Oh my
and
gosh,
that
yeah.
has definitely transformed me too, to push it to the next level, because you just don't know what you can do unless you do it.
Yeah, it's
Right?
super empowering. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm with you. The exercise portion of my day is my mental health non-negotiable.
Yes. I'm like, you want me normal? I need to go.
Yeah, you want me to
gotta
be
go lift
nice?
some
I
weights.
gotta go to the gym. I work with my mom, obviously, and she'll be like, have you gone to the gym today? I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, I cultivate that. So I, between the prayer and then eating healthy and then going to the gym, and then I'm usually go to work in my gym clothes and then just change on the way there or
There you go.
at work. You make it work, and you people set so many excuses. You just have to do it,
Yeah.
right? And surround yourself around those that are doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I like that point. I think, what's that quote? If you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, yeah.
So to kind of surround yourself with people who are better than you and or people that you aspire to be more like, I think is important.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary, it was so much fun to get to know a little bit of the behind the scenes of
you.
your business. So I know you said your Instagram handle and your website, so we'll put those in our show notes so that people can give you a follow and subscribe to your newsletter and things like
Perfect.
that.
Awesome.
And come out to some of the events and support these local musicians. I love that mission. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to meeting everyone. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. As always, you can find Forsyth Mags online at forsythmags.com, and you can find us on Instagram at Forsyth Mags. And if you enjoyed this episode, or if you've ever enjoyed an episode of ours, we would love it if you would leave us a rating or a review. And that's it. That's a wrap for today. Thanks, guys. The views and opinions stated on this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our distributors or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Forsyth Magazines Incorporated. Ooh, that's a mouthful.